Ladies and gentlemen, folks of all flavors, everybody in our audience, not only here live on Twitch today, April 26th, 2019, but also in the future on YouTube, welcome to Session 8 of Rhapsody. This is Rising Tides Part 3. I am your DM, humble and gracious to have all of you here. I am the Mantid Man. You can find me at Twitter at MantidMan, or in our Discord, obviously, which you can always get to by doing !Discord in the Twitch chat, or in the description below the YouTube video. Our standard run through, like we always do before we get going and talking. Rhapsody is a mature game set in a mature setting, so if you are easily offended, may not be the best place for you, but it's few and far between, so please hang out. Let me know what you think. We are sponsored in part, of course, by Team Rankstar and InkedGaming.com. Play your games with your style, or head on over to TeamRankstar.com or the YouTube channel Team Rankstar. That is where our videos are hosted every week. We had a little bit of a technical issue getting last week's posted, but hopefully it will be up before this session goes on YouTube as well. Intro music, or at the break and at the end, brought to you by Max Tunes at TakeTones.com. And then, of course, our two biggest contributors probably don't even realize that they're contributing, obviously. Wizards of the Coast for making Dungeons & Dragons, keeping it going for so long, bringing us so much enjoyment over the past multiple decades. And Roll20.net. We play Dungeons & Dragons on Roll20.net because we live all over the country, all over the continent. One of our players actually in Canada. This allows us to come together at an accessible time for everybody and play the game that we love online. If you want to play with your friends that are spread out, go on over to Roll20.net, set up your free account, and get to dice rolling. Now that all that is out of the way, we will do my favorite part, and that is welcoming everybody from my group to the game. Dylan, we'll start with you. How you doing, buddy? I heard you had some great news. You don't have to share that, but I bet you are just riding on cloud nine right now, my friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Right now, I'm dealing with some terrible hiccups.
Oh, man, that is... I'll scare him out of you. Don't worry. We're going to have an interesting session today.
Oh, that's good. Fucking hell.
Oh, jeez. I won't make you talk too much right now. Maybe chug some water, or I don't even know how you get rid of hiccups. I don't know if there's actually a foolproof way. But Emily, please don't tell me you also have the hiccups. How you doing?
I do not have the hiccups. I wish I could fake a hiccup for you, but that's beyond my ability. But I'm doing well, other than that.
That's fantastic to hear. Always happy to have both of you. I meant to target that individually after each one, but we'll go on to the third person who, let's be honest, I'm never really actually happy to have, but he brings so much of his own style to the game. Jeff, how you doing, my friend?
Don't call me your friend.
I'm
doing great. Here to watch some of my friends die.
You sound a little tired. Did you maybe go to a midnight showing with no spoilers attached to that comment?
Yeah, I was there, and then I slept right before this game.
Nice. So, without spoiling anything, I don't want to put a spoiler warning on this at all, but did it live up to the nearly 2 decades of action that we have grown and loved? Did it culminate the way that you would have liked? Was it great?
The best way for me to put it is the perfect punctuation for this 10, 11-year chapter of my...
Yeah, that's high praise coming from you. You've been pretty critical of some other movies in the past, including Marvel movies, even though you are a hardcore fanboy. So that's good. Was the punctuation an exclamation point?
Love the Marvel movies. I love them for what they are in the franchise. I think it's important when watching them to realize that it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. They aren't like Oscar-winning movies, but they're good for what they are, and to just enjoy them for what they are. And that's how you can really get invested and see all the character development and everything. So that's what's really in it for me, is watching all this character development throughout 23 films. It's just really like no other.
That's awesome. And that's a great approach for just about any form of art, including Dungeons and Dragons or anything else. Know what you're getting into and appreciate it for what it is bringing to the table. Don't put unfair expectations on it. So it's a shining review from our resident doctor. Mr. Canada, Frozen North, Tim, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, eh?
Gonna lay it on thick, huh? Do you want to change Darian's backstory before we get started? Make him from like Nova Scotia or something?
Oh yeah, be driving me moose down to New York City with a beaver and tail and moose pooping all the way along the road.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, you're in a mood, and I'll be able to fix that as well. I'm making so many idle threats. I would never do any of this stuff.
Oh no, he's gonna kill us all, everybody. Expect this.
You can see the bloodlust in his eyes. We'll reveal that art to the people who aren't in Discord soon enough. Well, that's good. I'm happy that you are here and not a human popsicle. And Graham just was able to step in. Graham, how are you doing?
I'm good. I caught the tail end of Jeff's review. I thought it was good.
I was just going to ask if you agreed. Did it fulfill what it was supposed to fulfill?
Yes.
Good. That is all that matters.
It was the film version of what I love most about comic books.
And what do you love most about comic books?
You can do anything.
Oh, that is absolutely the case. The only thing better than comic books or film adaptations where you can do anything is
maybe Rhapsody. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, I was just pumping up Dungeons and Dragons in general. I mean, yes, this is the best version of Dungeons and Dragons, but you can always do anything. So normally there would be one more person that we would reach out to and say, hi, how you doing? How was your week? Unfortunately, Allie will not be joining us tonight. People are allowed to take breaks, personal or otherwise. Allie is obviously utilizing that at this time. Not going to be punished too heavily. I mean, I can't float experience to people, but others have been behind before as well and have caught up pretty quickly. This will be no different. Maybe we can make up some on the back end for her like we have in the past with some during the week RP. Speaking of, there was some phenomenal conversations being had in the RP chat in the Discord. So if you're not a member, come on over, check that out, and catch up and see what all these crazy people are talking about or whistling about and everything in between. With all of that, I will say, I was going to say something about what I did this week. I can't remember what it was. Nothing super important. So I guess let's just get into it. We picked up, we left off last week. Alex, Darian, and the professor continued their kind of discussion and trekking through the garden. The doctor went and struck a deal with Jim. The only real requirement for his deal is to bring 6 bullets back, or 6 bullets next time he comes in to get his stuff. Alex lost a ring fight to Grub in the washways. The doctor and the professor discussed a little bit more about the heart and maybe some plans for the coming days, including this trek out into the city. They have been pretty good about keeping everything else kind of under wraps for the rest of the party. Hannah made some ad hoc armor and weapons, and then everybody went to sleep. The next day, they started traveling in the city, and they met a speaker from the Church of Victory and his escort. Were able to kind of defuse talking with them or really doing anything. But Darian spoke up, was actually blessed by the speaker, and will be buffed as they move throughout the rest of the day today. One other again, I'm losing my brain today. I need to finish drinking all of this caffeine. Oh, I know what it was. So one of those recap portions was Hannah making some ad hoc armor and weapons. If you caught our session last week live, or you watch it on YouTube when I actually get it uploaded, there was some like discussion around crafting and how it worked. some lines didn't match up. Dylan, the player behind Hannah, and I actually met during the week this week, came up with a beautiful crafting system for mundane arms and armor that is a little more forgiving than the book system, but also takes advantage of like the limited resources in the world of Rhapsody. So again, head onto the Discord. You can see that in the game rules section. I fully endorse utilizing any of my stuff, modified or not, in your own games. Everybody's been pretty happy with it. Reading it, we'll see how it plays out in practice over the next few sessions. So let's jump into Rhapsody. The party is moving through the streets. They have a couple more hours before they get to the lower east side of Manhattan, where they are heading. I am getting a request from one of my players. Oh, that's right. Hannah got an updated character portrait also in Discord. I will update that if I have time during the break or when there's like some oddball stuff going on. Worst case scenario, we will have it next week. That's on me. I should have done that when it was fresh in my head. So sorry about that, Dylan.
That's cool. I'm gonna send you the token anyway.
Perfect. Oh, you said if I send you, for some reason I was reading that, can you make a new token? Yeah, if you send that to me, I think we can do that kind of as we're warming up into the session. So shoot that over to me in a DM and we'll go ahead and get started. We can kind of finish the rest of maybe a little bit of the RP conversation as you guys get moving, and we'll roll some random encounters. I will be playing Alex. I'll stay out of RP for the most part, unless there's something that just doesn't make any sense at all to stay out of, and we will work combat accordingly. I'm not going to make Alex any safer than they would normally be, but we'll have a little mercy. So let's get into it. The last things that were said whilst there was walking going on, it looks like we were talking about some favorite colors, and oddly enough, Alex, or maybe not oddly enough, but in the best case scenario, Alex was the last one to answer, saying red, no reason. Super happy about being able to actually contribute to a conversation.
So my favorite color is yellow. It's the color of sunflowers and hay.
And mustard.
Yeah, yes, and mustard.
We had a whole refrigerator shelf, and it was all these different mustards. It drove me crazy.
I was more of a horseradish person.
Dylan, go ahead and give me a D100. Let's stay above stay above 40. Yeah.
Huh?
Well, so kind of as that conversation is meandering along, let's find out what actually happens, because we did not do what the DM said to do. Give me a D10, Dylan. Okay, so the party is walking along, just kind of talking back and forth, enjoying the pretty good weather for the day. Everybody give me a perception check. I'm going to omit Alex from this.
We're doing just fine.
This is going to be a great session, everybody.
That's right. Okay, so nobody hears the precursor to this. Kind of caught unawares when this happens.
The doctor.
The doctor has not rolled yet. Yeah, the doctor.
Time on the machine.
Yeah, it's all good. I will go ahead and ask that hopefully our producer is paying a little bit of attention. Let's go ahead and get a map on the screen as well there. Production. Hopefully that comes through for everybody when it does switch over. All right, so the doctor will actually hear this. So, Doctor, you will not be caught unawares. So nobody else hears what's going on. The doctor catches with kind of his periphery hearing, maybe some of the sight. This building here is only 3 stories tall. On the top story, not on the roof, but on the actual top story, there's a little bit of a ruckus, and then a boarded window kind of blasts out, and a body smashes into the ground. Let's get some blood. So a body smashes on the ground here, followed quickly after the body are 2 very large creatures. I mean, not very large, but larger than what they should be based on what they are shaped like. So they look like dogs, but they are quite scaly, almost like armored scales, like you would see on a armadillo, a dinosaur, maybe something like that. And they tear this body limb from limb, devouring it almost immediately as they hit the ground. One of them looks up and like bucks as it prepares to charge forward. The doctor will be the only one who is not surprised in this, unless anybody has anything that keeps them from being caught by surprise. So let's go ahead and roll some initiative. Darian is blessed and has that +1, so make sure that that's added in. And if it is not, tell me and I will automatically augment it.
Oh, I can just fix it myself.
Oh, very nice. Yes, you can. The first initiative is going to be the top one. The second initiative is going to be the bottom one for mine.
Can I say one thing?
You can, please.
Just about my physical placement on the map. I did
Yes.
in the RP. I did say that I was falling behind because I was taking notes.
Yep, that's why I had you toward
So-
the back. Is that in a poor... Oh, I had you 2 switched. I had November and the doctor switched. You guys can actually, in that kind of square that you're in, that 5x5, 6x6 square, you can place yourselves how you would have been moving anyway. I got no problem with you readjusting. I normally am better about asking for order and location, but I didn't expect a 4 to be rolled immediately on our chart.
We need the map moved over on the stream.
I can do that as well. That's me.
Ah,
I'm supposed to center it on creatures that are on the thing that it's its turn. So I'll make sure I continue to do that. 18 and 3. All right, everybody rolled and corrected. Descending. Hannah is surprised, so won't be acting. So the first scaled mutt will be going. Sorry if I have like weird pauses. Forgive me. We had some friends of ours move in with us for a little bit of time, just to reorganize some stuff on their side. And they have a couple of guinea pigs that are down in this office. And when they're drinking, it makes like this click, click, click sound in the background, and I'm not used to it yet. Just a little tidbit of information. All right, so this one here. Darian is indeed the closest target, so that is what it will go for. So this thing finishes eating, blood just dripping out of its mouth. It looks over at Darian, who essentially catches its eyes as it's flying through the air, but its rear legs just launch it forward. It crashes down, cracking the pavement beneath it, this heavy, heavy body moving with such force, and it smashes in the ground right in front of Darian, and it will be biting at you.
Yeah, 22 hits. As he bites into me, I would like to use my stone endurance.
Absolutely fair. So go ahead and roll. Excuse me. Go ahead and roll that. So you'll reduce this damage by 5.
It's a bummer of a stone's endurance roll.
Yeah.
Very below average.
I also wasn't paying attention, so I'm kind of probably activating like very at the last second.
Oh, Stone's Endurance is a reaction, correct? When you take
Oh,
damage,
it
you
is
can
because
use
I
your
can't use it because I am caught off by surprise. You're right.
That is correct. Look at us paying attention and doing stuff correctly rather than ad hocing and going back or whatever. All right, so damage from this. Whew. So a big bite. The teeth are these like just razor sharp knives, small swords even. The mouth is so big. So it bites down, and then a secondary set of muscles just crush home, cracking bone and just tearing and rending as it pulls its mouth away, dripping fresh new blood from Darian. Minerva also caught off guard, as is Darian. The doctor, on the other hand, is not. So it is your turn, doctor.
I'm going to take the time to apply a poison to my darts.
Understood. How many pieces of ammo does your poison apply to currently?
2.
Fantastic. And that's all for your turn. Any movement of any kind?
Take a couple steps back.
Okay. November caught off guard. Other dog. So not able to get there in one jump. Will run a little bit and then leap, smashing into the ground next to Darian, but not able to do anything else. I'm going to add Alex in here because I am ludicrous. We'll put him at the bottom of the order. Also caught off guard. But I got some ideas here. So Hannah, now able to act, just snapping back to reality as Darian lets out oof or scream, whatever happened when the bite came down.
Hannah is going to cast. She's going to move here next to Alex, and then she's going to cast Silent Image on. Where is the? So this, right? It's 15 feet each, 15 feet cube.
Yep.
Or is it
yeah.
like
So
that?
yeah. So around Minerva be in the top corner, around to 15 feet's actually 3 squares. You have it snapped to the center. It's goofy. So yeah, it'll be that. You'll change it to snap to corners, and it'll measure that appropriately.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Snap to centers for circles in the future.
Okay. In that case, before too spread out, I'm actually going to just do that. I'm going to twin Witch Bolt at level 1.
So Twinned Witch Bolt 2 attacks. You can declare which one's on which before you roll.
First on top, second on bottom.
Fantastic. Let's see them. These are against AC. So the lightning arcs out from Hannah's fingertips, splits in the middle of the air into 2 distinct bolts. The scales light up and glow, but they don't seem to be phased by it as the lightning kind of arcs off in different directions. Not able to pass the AC. Not that they are immune to it by any means.
Oh, all right. Yeah, she'll. That's all.
All right. Big Dog already has a taste for Darian, but has been attacked by Hannah. We're going to do a D3. A 1 and a 2 is Darian. 3 is a redirect towards Hannah. Staying on Darian. Oh, you know what? Actually, this one, being a little smarter, it turns a little bit. It scoops into its mouth just chunks of the crumbled roadway, scoops it up, chews just a little bit, and then it rears back, puffs its just gigantic chest out, and it blows these chunks of stone out in a 15-foot arc across Darian, Minerva, and Hannah. This is a dexterity save, DC 12. Darian, you're no longer surprised, so you get advantage, not that you needed it. Minerva passes, and as does Hannah. Dylan, if you want to hit your drop down at the bottom and roll as Hannah for me, just so I don't lose my mind. And it helps our viewers out as well.
Yep, I just did.
Sweet. Okay, so anybody who has passed will take half of this damage. So it goes through the ground like an excavator, chews a bunch of these stone and asphalt up, and then it blasts them out across the 3 of you who have all passed the save. So anybody who took damage will take, or anybody caught in that will take half, so 9 to the 3 of you. I don't think Darian's raging.
Nope, not yet.
That is, well, we're going to not bunch up here. So it adjusts just a little bit, keeping eyes trained on Darian and licking its chops. Minerva, after being bludgeoned with this spray of rock, it is your turn.
I am concerned by this. This is not good. What I would like to do is back up some. Maybe brace up against this dumpster.
Sure.
And start slinging. I'm going to throw a stone at this one over here.
So stone flies through the air, and it ricochets off one of the shoulder plates of the large dog. Doesn't even seem to notice. Sparks a little bit and just skips off into the distance. Anything else?
Great. No, that is it. Wait, no, bonus action, Shillelagh my cane. I'll do that spell.
Shillelagh. Love it.
Yep.
Darian, just now recovering as well from the rock spray. It is your turn.
Darian will take his thumb and stick it in the wound in his leg where he just got bit, and he would like to rage. And as he does, he will move in this direction. Come over here, you filthy beasties, and take a nice big swing at this guy here. So it'll be a 21.
So this connects with the metal or the scaled plating, and at first you don't know if it's going in even in your rage state, but you just power through, find a slot between 2 of the armor plates, and it connects with flesh. You see blood dripping down, and you hear it howl out. Arr! 10 total damage. And it does look like it takes the full brunt of the blade from Darian. Anything else, sir?
No, I'm just kind of banging on whatever I have that's metal to kind of make him look at me.
Understood. Doctor.
I'm gonna throw my first dart at the one that Darian just hit. Yeah. I'm gonna take a step forward first.
So the first dart comes out and again catches a plate, this time like a scale plate just below the chin, like on the exposed part of the chest, but it ricochets down into the ground. No effect.
It'll take a step back to where he was. That's his turn.
All right. Professor November.
These are some very bad dogs. And I will twirl my finger up in the air and point it at this one. And I'm going to step over here and firebolt it.
This connects. You can describe that if you like.
So I point right at it, and then I even my thumb, I make a gun shape, and he even drops his thumb, and as soon as he drops his thumb, the flame comes out of his fingertip and shoots at him. Just singes his where fur would be, but it's not. And then I quickly go, ha! And just try to step backwards. 5, 10, 15. He's just kind of ambling backwards. That's my turn.
Let's out a yelp, and then its compatriot will. It's also going to dig its mouth into the ground, chew some rock, and it is going to move to there as it's chewing and spit the rock out over Hannah, Alex, and the doctor.
I would get an attack of opportunity because it left my melee range, correct?
You absolutely do. You can describe that connection as it's leaving
As
you.
it's leaving me, I'm trying to stab downwards onto its tail to get it to stop. And I go, "Oh, where are you going there, big fella?" And try and slam down and catch him as he gets out of the way.
It takes heavy notice of you, but completes what it is still doing. So, Hannah, Alex, and the doctor, dexterity saves DC 12 for half damage. And Alex's is a 10, so full damage. So full damage to the doctor and to Alex. Hannah will take half. Alex is supposed to be at full, but not looking
down. Good. Unconscious.
All right. Doc is. Are you at exactly 0 or?
Nope. 21
right.
total hit points.
Understood. Alex is not happy about this. Sees the doctor go down, and ignoring his own wounds of the stone and stuff sticking out of him, moves to here, drawing both of the hammers out. And making sure I know. Yep, all right, so 2-weapon fighting. Ooh, that's probably be bludgeoning. But 11 nonetheless. And that will be Alex's turn. So Alex has put up post with the 1 hit point remaining in between the dog and the downed doctor. Hannah.
Hannah is going to take the disengage action. And go around the corner.
All right. Anything else, or is that it?
Nope, that's all.
All right, this one up here, top side, not happy about Darian pounding through as well. First, we're going to look for that recharge on a 5 or a 6 on that chewing. Does not happen. Will indeed turn to fight Darian. Just a singular bite.
Yep, hits.
All right. Only because you didn't have it before. Do you want to use that Stone's Endurance now?
I
Or are
already
you
used
saving
my
it?
reaction this turn.
That you did. Fair enough. Look at you. Look at me. That was terrible.
Isn't this top of the turn, though? This is number 18.
It's at the start of my turn it recharges.
Exactly.
Oh, that's how that works?
You're supposed
I had
to be
no
a
idea.
veteran. Yeah,
Oh, well,
no,
I
that's
always thought it was turns.
your turns, yeah. All right, so only it looks like 4 damage to you because you are indeed raging now. So it does connect. It engages those secondary muscles after it slices into your skin. It can't punch through the first few layers of like muscle tissue. It doesn't get to any bone this time. Minerva.
I'm going to try and entangle these dogs and yell at people to run. And then run. I see Hannah went this way, so that seems like a good way to go. I'm going to run over here and hopefully be able to heal the doctor next turn. Heal the doctor next turn, yeah.
All right. Is that it?
Well, they need to make their strength saving throws.
Oh yeah, I will make that happen.
Why is Darian rolling that?
I don't know where your box was. I didn't know if I was in it.
I will not put you in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Easily placed right now. We don't have to do any like checking to make sure, but that's an easy one to get through. So strength saves. First one's gonna be the top one. Second one's the bottom one. And these are strength, we said, correct?
Yep.
All right. Easy peasy. A little easy for these two as well. Solid rolls, it looks like. What's the DC on yours?
It's lower than that because I'm level 3.
Fair.
It's like, what is it? It's 10 plus wisdom plus proficiency? Yeah,
8 plus
15.
8 plus wisdom plus proficiency.
Oh, okay. Well, 13.
All right. Entangled and move, or attempted to entangle and moved. I didn't see where you went. Oh, behind the doctor? Yeah. All right, cool. Darian, your turn.
Darian, seeing that the doctor went down and that this thing is still looking at all of his companions, will move up to here, try and grab this thing's leg, and swing it towards the other one.
This one up here?
Yep. Like he's taking this one by the leg and trying to swing it towards this one up here.
All right. So this will be a modified, like, kind of grapple attempt that we're going to do. Normally, a grapple would stop their movement, but you're just going to try and move them around. So let's do athletics versus its athletics. It'll have advantage because it's larger than you.
I count as a large beast when lifting things.
Ah. when lifting objects, though, right? You don't count as a large creature when you're grappling, do you? You might, but I don't remember.
Nope, just says push, drag, or lifting.
Push.
All right, if you're able to land the grapple, then I will give you the large moniker for moving it. But landing the grapple will still have advantage here, because this would not be a lift to get hands on it. You still beat it. Okay. So the second half of this, you'll have advantage on this roll. This is the challenge part of the roll. This will be an additional athletics check, DC 15, and boom,
26.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead and roll. We were gonna put 1d10 plus your strength damage on this. We're gonna make it 2d10 because I'll give that a crit. That's phenomenal. So go ahead and roll 2d10 and then add your strength to it. It's not an attack, so it won't have your rage damage on it. Spectacular. The other one's going to try and compensate for that damage. We'll give it a strength save. We'll make it 14 DC. It does not pass. All right. Give me 1d10 damage for that other one.
Plus my strength or no?
This is just flat damage, yeah. So just the d10. All right. So you
grab it by the leg, and as I'm swinging, I'm like, "When I say look at me, big fella, I mean look at me." And I grab him at the leg and just like pick him up off the ground and swing him towards the other.
Neither one of them are happy about this. After colliding and readjusting themselves, they are both keenly focused on you. And it is the doctor's turn. Death save, doctor. Pass. Like a boss. Professor November, your colleague, is on the ground dying, and Darian is performing feats of magnificent strength.
Beautiful. Seeing the current situation and not liking it, I'm going to walk up 5, 10, 15, 20. I come up pretty close, and I just go, ooga booga booga booga, ooga booga booga. And I'm flailing my arms, and I'm going to cast the second level Cause Fear, so it should affect both of them. I'll need wisdom saves from both of the dog creatures, as long as they're not constructs or undead.
I would roll anyway, but they're not constructs or undead. You said wisdom saves?
Wisdom save, DC 14.
Versus a fear effect, double checking, not immune to it. All right, so the first save is for the one on the left, second save is for the one on the right.
I'm going to change the one on the right with my portent die, and I'm going to give it a 12.
All right, bringing the total to 13, so they both fail. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Target must succeed, blah, blah, blah. Frightened targets can repeat saving throws at the end of their turn, but they are under the fear effect. So they got
frightened conditioned.
Yeah, frightened condition. Sorry, so disadvantage and can't move closer to you. We'll put these markers. Scared to death. Oh, I clicked the wrong button there. Anything else for your turn, sir?
And then I will say, try to pick them up, Alex. Darian, let's get out of here. And that's the end of my movement. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
All right, so try and pick them up, Alex, and let's get out of here, is what was said. Excuse me. All right. Attempting this one to get its breath back on a 5 or a 6. It does, but it does not like the targets that it's got. So It's only going to bite at Darian. This is at disadvantage. 14.
Both hit.
Well, it's only one attack. I'm just rolling twice, and it's a macro. So, all right. So
Wait before you roll. I will use my stone turns this time.
there we go. So amped up from that feat of amazing strength, Darian blocks
Nice.
potentially all of the damage. It's going to take a ridiculous roll for me to actually punch through that barrier. Oh, I get through by 2, which means 1.
Nope, that's because it's half damage still.
Half damage after damage is calculated, so it's still 1 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 damage gets through. It is halved by your barbarism and is dropped down to 1. Darren doesn't even notice as the teeth clamp around. It's just like a pinprick. Alex, absolutely heeding what the professor has said, will spend his action kneeling down, picking up the doctor. I'm going to move Minerva for just... Oh, no, I'm not, because the doctor's on top. And we're going to move... calculating... Doctor, how much do you weigh?
That's a personal question.
Too bad. I am, for all intents and purposes, the creator of this world, so I would know.
I don't have a weight.
Oh, no weight?
Typical old man weight.
Typical
Aren't you a
old man
gnome,
weight.
though?
Yeah.
So
He's
you
gonna be
a
on
small
the
man.
side.
Yeah, smaller side, so we'll say like $120, something like that. We can work that out later, well underneath where Alex would have to be encumbered. So picking up deadweight doctor as an object and moving... We're actually going to protect as many people as we can here. Going to set the doctor down, still over, and second winding is what Alex is going to do, if it takes. I'll just do it this way. 1d10 plus 3. I might go through and add some macros and stuff to her sheet later. Healing for 6. And actually also very much to help out and stay alive a little bit more. We're going to action surge and take the dodge action as well. So Alex puts the doctor down, kind of reinvigorates and crosses the hammers in front of his chest and drops his face down. So trying to protect himself a little bit more. So dodge action there. Oh, I didn't roll the save for the other creature. D20 plus 1, DC 14. So it does not pass. Still very
afraid of me. He's literally just like making weird faces at the animals still, like...
The doctor's face, or the professor's face, is stretching a little too far, the noise a little too big, the tongue a little too long for the dogs to be able to compose themselves just yet. Hannah, your turn.
Hannah, as she's casting this, is going to croak out, "Darian, get away from it!" She's going to cast Darkness. She's actually going to cast it, seeing what November's doing, and seeing the reactions to his ridiculous faces. She's actually going to cast it in this way. Snap to corner. It goes across like that, or no, actually like that. So it does get Darian in it, but it should get the head of this one and the full body of this one.
Range is 15 feet, right?
Yeah, 15-foot cube.
Yep. So it gets half of the large creature on the left, which means it gets the effect and it gets the whole of the other creatures. They are both fully affected currently. Neither one of them can see that you know of. Darian, on the other hand, little meta information in between. I'm not finishing your turn by any means. Darian, you hear Hannah croak out. Darian, get away from them. You're still very focused on these things as well as the combat veteran that you are. The moment the lights go out, essentially, from magical darkness, so no dark vision would pierce this, you hear heavy sniffing immediately, and you feel the breath right on your chest from both sides. So you feel like they still know where you are. Anything else, Hannah? That's meta knowledge. Obviously, you don't know that.
Hannah. Hannah is going to move. Why is it doing? Going to move there. Oh, okay, there we go. Because it doesn't. She's kind of limping, so she only makes it about 20 feet down the walkway, trying to get away. That's all.
All right. Other dog. So it's going to use its bonus action to try and sniff out Darian. So Darren, you hear this? You hear and feel the air moving, this hot air like pulsing around you. Go ahead and give me a reactive wisdom check. DC 10. You have a +1. This is a skill check. Oh, snap. So 19 total. So you have enough brains about you to still kind of put this together, even in your heightened state of rage. The fact that these are sniffing around, it does know that you're still in the vicinity. You know that it can't see you, that it's trying to pinpoint where you are at. So mechanically, still blind, you would still be able to get away, but it's trying to pinpoint where you are currently to try and have a little bit better chance of striking you. This is close range combat. I'm going to make these find checks DC 13, and it has advantage on this. Okay, so it does know which square you are in, and it will attack. You are blind, so it has advantage, but it's at disadvantage, so it's a regular attack. But it's a disadvantage still, double disadvantage. I don't remember what the rules are, so it's still going to have disadvantage between being afraid and in the darkness. It's not enough to outweigh knowing where you're at. So this is disadvantage. This is one attack. I'm just rolling twice. We're taking the lower number. 8 does not connect with you. You hear the teeth snap right next to you. It picks up a chunk of the ground, and you hear those secondary muscles engage and just crush everything down into gravel. And then it will make its save at the end of the turn, as I see Professor November reminding me. Thank you so much.
Yes, well, victory's only sweet.
Yeah, all is fair. So you feel your grip kind of loosen. I don't remember if that's a concentration or not.
It is.
It is. Okay, so you feel your grip loosen on one of the creatures that was affected by you. Don't know which one necessarily because you can't see. But that is all for its turn. Minerva.
I am rushing over to the doctor. I'm going to try to stabilize the doctor.
All right. That is just a medicine check, DC 10, yeah?
I think so. Unless you changed it.
I didn't change anything. How do you stabilize the doctor from these protrusions of stone sticking out of his body?
I am going to take out the stone, and are they in a limb, let's say?
Yeah, there's like one in the chest, one in the leg, and like one in the throat, actually. It was enough damage that knocked him down. So a mortal wound probably in the throat.
I can't quite... like, I was thinking a tourniquet, but I can't do that on a neck.
With your... So I'll help out a little bit. A tourniquet, a quick tourniquet on the leg, because that's where a lot of the blood is coming from. The chest is probably okay, because it's lower. For the neck, you pull it out, notice immediately that it starts bleeding profusely, and are able to stuff some gauze and stuff in there, just to stem the flow enough for somebody to be able to help. It's a quick, dirty job, but you've done this with plenty of animals that have been attacked by large rats or things like that in the past. You know how to stop bleeding.
Except I don't have any gauze, so it's the handkerchief my hair's in.
Ooh,
Even better.
that is. That'll be a good story point later. Anything else, Minerva?
That is an action. I don't really have anything else bonus-wise that I wanted to do.
All right. Darian, currently stuck in the darkness as well by 1 square. I can actually put that on the map while you're deciding what you want to do on your turn.
Giving someone something, would that be a bonus action or an action?
It depends on what you're trying to do. What specifically would you
ration.
be trying to give?
A
A
ration.
rat. You're trying to give one to the dogs, like hold one out?
Nope, I'm going to be giving it to November.
Okay. It's a bonus action to hand off something usually.
Okay, I will use my action to disengage. And then I believe it's double half movement for getting out of the darkness, correct?
Yes. Yeah, because you can't see necessarily or step in, so it's just...
10,
Yep.
20. And I will hand November one of my hunks of meat, and I'll go, throw that in there so they think something's still in there with it. And I will use my last 10 feet to go over here.
Do you say you're disengaging or dashing?
I disengaged, so
Okay.
I only move 30 feet.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure. All right, so handed off a ration, meat, and a ration told to put meat in it, and dipping out. Anything else?
No.
All right. I didn't know if there was, just wanted to make sure. Doctor, incapacitated but not dying, so nothing else for your turn, unless I'm missing something. November.
I will throw whatever he gave me into the darkness. Do you want to do like a dexterity throw on that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this
I'm not
is an
going
action.
closer.
Yeah, this is an action. So let's go ahead and get just a dexterity plus a d20 plus dexterity, no proficiency. This is weighted strangely and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, more than enough to hit what is the equivalent of an object, which would be a single square. So I'll doodle that in
10,
there.
15. 5, 10, 15. 20. 25. 30. Let's get out of here. That's my turn.
All right. The unfeared, I did the wrong ones. So this one is still afraid. This one is not afraid. All right, so it is the afraid one's turn. Let's see how dumb it is. A 1 or a 2, because these are relatively dumb. 1 or a 2 is attacking the thrown ration. A 3 would be something else. Can't pursue because it's afraid. But we'll see what it does. Okay, so it doesn't matter. This thing starts clawing at the ground. You hear grinding of asphalt, crunching of the plastic that's like, or the newspaper that's like wrapped around this ration. But nothing else happens. This one does not have its breath back, so we'll see if it gets it back. 5 or a 6 does allow it to get it back. It does not get that back either. And now we will roll for the fear. Look at that, Professor. Double checking, looking out for me.
Ha! It actually relieves itself.
There you go. It does. So it's eating, too afraid to leave the darkness. You hear it even whimper as it's almost settling for this meal. It does not want to leave the darkness. It feels a little bit protected in here. Alex will... Let's see what we got here. Normally I preach knowing your moves, but I'm playing the character as I'm DMing. Alex has Oh, I thought it said potions, 25 potions, but those are pitons. No healing ability there. Nothing that I can see. Alex is actually going to continue. Actually going to shield the doctor some. So crouching down just a little bit more, blocking the doctor than himself. So essentially taking the dodge action for the doctor. If anything tries to attack through Alex, it'll be at disadvantage. And he calls out, I don't know what to do. Somebody help him. I can't carry him and move that fast. And that will be all for Alex, trying to protect the body of the doctor. Hannah.
Since people have not moved very much, Matt. Well, I guess two questions. One, prestidigitation says you're able to soil an object. Are you able to give it a specific smell? What does soil really mean? Does it mean just dirt?
Yeah, just looks dirty. A smell would be the other effect of prestidigitation, making the smell kind of waft through the air. That's 2 casts, not 1, to do both.
Okay. Are there any potential doors on either side into these buildings?
There is indeed a door right below, actually, where you're standing. Or excuse me, right near where you're standing. So on the solid side of this fire escape, there's a door right beneath it that goes into this building. It is one of those, like, it looks like one of the thin kind of warehouse doors, metal on the outside, but almost assuredly a hollow core.
She's gonna try opening it.
It is locked.
Can I use my blacksmithing tools to try and break the doorknob or whatever it is?
It's one of those. It's one of the levers, but yeah, you can use an action and use your blacksmithing tools or tinker's tools. Your call, and I'll tell you what the roll type is.
I guess I'll use Tinker's.
All right. So Tinker's is going to be just an intelligence check. Actually, we're trying to disengage a lock, not pick a lock, but disengage it. 10, not going to be enough. I think I have these at 12. Let me double check. Standard doors. Yeah, 12 to disengage the lock. So unfortunately, that's not going to work. You still have a bonus and a move left, though. Or a bonus on the rest of your move, I should say.
Nothing for the bonus, but yeah, she's going to continue to try this, essentially, unless people are obviously moving. But it seems like they're not right now. So she's going to continue at this until people start actively moving further away, thinking that the dogs are contained. For now. Yep, that's it.
All right. Other dog. Also going to check the dumbness. 1 and 2 is super dumb. 3 is realizing what's going on. Nope, super dumb. So it is tearing at the pieces that it can smell of this ration. You hear more paper crunching. You hear the dogs kind of yipping at each other. And that is all. This one is not afraid, so I don't have to roll a fear save. Minerva.
I'm going to hightail it. I'm dashing. So I'm off the map at this point.
Yep, off the map. Darian.
Well, my rage is gone right now, and unless the doctor weighs over 160 pounds, I will grab him from Alex and just keep going.
Right now we're banking at 125. I don't think 160 is anywhere in the equation, so we won't have to worry about retcon.
Yep, so I'll just like grab him. So there's like, I got it, Alex, and then throw him over my shoulder, and I'll just start booking. So that was 5 feet. That was my action. So another 10. 5, 10. Yeah, so I will get right to the edge of the map with the doctor.
All right. The doctor has nothing happen currently. November.
They're still just dogs. Let's run. Get out of here. And I'm still within 60 feet of the one that is afraid. So, that's my turn.
Yeah, that math works beautifully. The other scared one. This time, excuse me. I'm just rolling a D2. A 1 is dumb, and a 2 is not as dumb. All right. This is the scared one. Cannot approach closer. Alex is the only one close enough, but he and the studio audience hear kind of less of the paper crinkling and a bunch of rocks come pelting out. You all would hear them like ricocheting off the ground and things like that. Obviously a use of the breath. And let's see if saving out. Nope. Still afraid, still cowering in the darkness. Alex. Oh man. Almost wanted to know how much what those things tasted like, but getting the hell out. We'll also book it. Staying close to Minerva, who is off of the map. So pretty close there. So a dash to get off. Runs past Hannah and kind of gives a you're the last one hand motion. Hannah, it's your turn.
I also dash off the map.
All right. This will be an escape skills challenge for all of you except for the doctor. Let's go ahead and get just an athletics. Just pumping those legs, running as fast as we can. Darian's rage will fade during this run. Run, better run. So Professor, and I'll do Alex's. Oh, just pumping. Minerva's channeling those beasts that are hiding within.
Yeah, holy shit, I don't know how.
So I'm just looking for Professor November's check here. It does actually have bearing. And it is enough. All right, so the party, Darian hefting the doctor along, the rest of the party just hauling as much ass as they can down this street, kind of in a blind movement. Going down the street, some doors and different alleyways and stuff passing. Are you running in a straight line, Minerva? You're kind of ahead of everybody else. Are you running in a straight line, or are you going to dodge into an alley? You get to dictate the direction that the party moves.
Jeez, that's a lot of responsibility. I would probably duck down an alley or two.
Okay, so like one left turn, one right turn, back onto a main street. I will pull you all back up. So you do effectively escape this conflict. For mechanical clarity, I will let you all know that while you won't get full experience for that, you do get experience nonetheless. All right. So you guys kind of duck out and around. You're in maybe a side alley. I'll just put you kind of not on the main street. But take it away. Combat ends. And you have an unconscious doctor in your arms, Darian. Alex is watching the edge of the alley, kind of around the corner to see, not poking out too much, but trying to be a bit stealthy. Doing a pretty decent job of it.
I will put the doctor down besides Minerva, and I would like to look around to see if I see any windows a little higher up, any like fire escapes, any doors in this alley, or maybe just slightly off from this alley.
Sure. Just looking around, you do see that there is a fire escape just above you, about 10 feet deeper down the alley. The ladder has been retracted, but you've been in New York enough to know that like you could jump up and probably disengage the ladder and be able to get up a floor or two, if that's something you're looking to do. Yeah,
Darren would like to do that. He'd like to try and jump up and pull down the ladder.
Go ahead and give me a D100. We're just looking for anything above a 20. If it's a 20, the ladder is like rusted or problematic. Yeah, so you jump up, grab a hold of the ladder. It kind of clacks and clangs. There's a little bit of rust that falls off, but the ladder comes down, and Alex turns around as the sounds are now. The sound kind of echoes through this portion of the city. Looks back. What are you doing, man?
Well, being down here ain't helping us much, so if we can get at least a couple floors up, we can see things coming at us.
And are you commencing to climb immediately?
No, I got it down for everybody. I'm gonna wait for everybody to get up.
All right.
I need to catch my breath. Holy shit! What was that?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that, Miss Minerva. That was crazy and adrenaline filled, and I liked its scales kinda. It looked like pretty tough, maybe make a good shield, but that was not the point right now.
Man, at your side. What happened to you?
Oh, fuck. It spit up rocks. Ow. Fuck, we have to get somewhere safer than here, though. Is he okay? Looking at the doctor, she says that.
He'll live. I'm not as good as he is, but he should live. I'm not so sure about dragging him up this, though.
Fire is scary. Dare me and cover your shoulders.
Is there a door in this alley, Matt? That she can try and tinker tool?
Give me a D3 -1. Let's see if there's any doors. This will be the number of doors in the alley. Nope, no doors. Solid building walls in here, just the fire escape.
We can all keep looking for doors, or we can try and get a little bit of height and take a little rest. Maybe slap the doctor awake. Maybe rub some, stinky stuff under his nose to wake him up. I hear doctors do that every once in a while.
Henna's going to stand up in pain and start to climb the ladder.
You all hear some barking in the distance. Looks like, or it sounds like it's probably the opposite direction.
Minerva's coming next. She requests that someone be below her just in case she falls.
Oh yeah, Darren's
Alex
there.
and Alex is there too, boosting you up. So is anybody opposed to it? We don't really need to RP out. Is anybody opposed to climbing the ladder outside of the unconscious doctor who has no say?
No.
Good. All right, so everybody climbs up. One story, so you're on the first story. The first one up was Hannah, correct?
Yes.
Are you continuing to climb, or are you stopping at the breach of the second story?
She's going to look through the window of the first floor and see how solid it looks.
Give me a D2, a 1. The window's boarded up. 2, you can see inside. I love random chance. Window's boarded up. Can't see through.
We already made enough noise. She's going to try and kick out the board.
Athletics. DC 10. The wound bleeds a little bit as your foot makes, or not bleeds, I guess you don't bleed. Pieces come out a little bit of the wound as your foot makes contact, more force on your body rather than the wood itself. Alex will see what you're doing and help immediately. Continue. Alex almost breaks an ankle trying to kick it in. The second one up is Minerva, who sees what is going on. And then Darian comes up as well. Darian, you're more than willing. You see kind of what's going on as well. You're more than willing, or more than able to also try and knock this the boards out of this window.
So right now I have the doctor in between my back and the backpack, and his arm is kind of like hanging over the straps, just kind of like dangling behind me. And I grab the edge of the rail of the fire escape and just like fireman kick into the window.
Athletics. Oh yeah. So the boards that Alex and Hannah were sure were probably made of steel rather than wood. They splinter immediately into just a fine mist. And inside it is pitch black, very dusty, and almost completely barren. This looks like you're probably in a multi-story, what used to be like a storage facility of some kind. There's like bays and stuff around, but it is almost completely barren in here. There's a couple of sets of like metal shelving and things like that have been toppled over. Odds and ends scraps like paper, maybe empty cigarette containers, things like that. There's trash and things like that, but nothing of note outside of the like metal shelving that's been toppled over.
I'm going to, as soon as everybody gets in, I'm going to just minor illusion the boards to look like they are not broken.
Easily done.
And I'll just sit there and concentrate on that as I kind of like sit up against the wall right there.
Like November, I can fix them. Just give me a minute.
Fix what? All the pieces all over the place? You're gonna get a splinter. And then who knows? It'll probably get infected.
She doesn't argue, it just collapses against the wall.
I'm just moving you all to like a building that's not crumbling. All right, so you're all inside and bickering a little bit, but heart rates are coming down. People are kind of realizing the wounds. Alex is looking game action. Yeah, my game actions dragon. He is indeed not there currently for you. Luckily for you guys. So Alex looks down and he's pulling the chunks of rock like out of his stomach. Looking at the cuts, and then he looks over at the doctor on the ground. If I can't help me and he's down, what do we do? And he's like holding up the bloody hands that he's got.
I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I'm just gonna look through the doctor's pockets. Does he have anything? I mean, he's got a wide variety assortment of needles, and I've seen his health potions and things. Are they clear at all? That gives you any kind of inkling? Is there any markings on his needles as to what's a health potion versus what's not a health potion?
Doctor.
Oh, I'm here. I thought you were going to answer that.
Oh, no. I'm letting you. I don't know all the little details like that of your character yet.
I mean, there'd be a clear distinction, but I mean, I guess meta knowledge, only he can. I don't know how, if that's readily obvious or what. It's I don't really know how to come up with a mechanical reason why you can't stab a syringe in a guy, but mechanically only he can apply them.
Perfect.
Yeah, they might have a minor mechanical engage that has to happen before they can be used. Or maybe there's a catalyst that you add right before you use them so nobody else can take advantage of you while you're incapacitated.
I got a way of maybe trying to wake him up for a quick moment, but I don't think he'll be very happy when he actually wakes up to see what I did.
Alex perks up at this. Man, I'm fucking dying here. You're fucked up. Look at everybody. We got to do something. If those dogs come, and like just rambling.
All right, but if he gets mad, you all can't blame me. And Darian sticks his hand down the back of his pants and furiously starts rubbing it back and forth near his butt, and then sticks it right in front of Doctor's nose.
Smelling salts of the worst flavor. I will actually,
Christ.
because we're out of combat, I will actually allow this. We're gonna make it a little bit of a golly, we're making a little bit of a challenge here. Yeah, just a touch here.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a D20 roll, Darian. and this will be the DC for Constitution for the Doctor. So, Doctor, you're looking for a Constitution save. You actually want to pass this, so 11 or 10 or better. Constitution save, Doctor. All right. So you do come to. This is a jolt. It smells like you have had your face dunked in a porta potty. You know what those were from before the falling. You have. We'll say. Let's do this here. So you have 2 turns where. So you have essentially 2 actions. If we were in initiative, that you can take before the adrenaline from the stink kind of wears off and you pass back out. You realize the mortal danger that you're essentially in, but yeah, you got a couple of seconds. You feel very woozy almost immediately, and you feel your body kind of overtaking you. So, Doctor, you've got 2 actions you can take before you pass back out, unless you prevent that from happening, obviously.
Right. So I guess the first thing I'll do is use one of his quints on himself.
Sure. The smell still lingering in your nose. All right, so you are not at risk now of falling back unconscious. Continue as if there were no boundaries, because there aren't any.
Darren just puts his hand back in his pocket real quick and walks away. He's like,
I smell like death. You're not looking too good either.
What happened?
We ran from those monsters and we climbed up the side of a building, and now we're inside. Which one of your things, like in the future, is there a way we can safely administer your things to you?
No, of course not. It has to be me. This is very, very intricate work. One miscalculation and you could kill me.
All right, that seems reasonable. But should we just rest here?
No, we should gather our wits about us and get to a safe house. Darian, you've got a map.
I got a map, Professor, but look at everybody here, man. I know you're feeling good, but look at Hannah, look at Miss Minerva. They're half shot to shit right now. I mean, maybe we can just take one little breath. We're up a little bit higher. Hopefully, those things aren't as smart as I'm really hoping they aren't. Maybe we just take an hour, maybe 2, just take a little rest. Everybody catch their breath. And I think we can still get there by nightfall, hopefully.
Alex speaks up as well, right as Darian's kind of finishing. Fine, look at me, man. And he's like pointing at one of the shards of asphalt still sticking out of his stomach. What the fuck do I do about this?
All right, Alex. Now, see this? See, well, here, bite on the edge of my hammer there.
Ah, man. And like the hammer offered bites down and kind of knows what you're doing, holds the flesh on his stomach to the sides, and closes his eyes.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, and I pull it right out.
Doc, I hope you have something to close this up, man.
So he's fine though, right? I mean, he's bleeding, but
Oh yeah, I mean just aesthetic,
Okay, so-
still
so
sitting at
the-
7 hit points.
so then he'll help stop the bleeding, but he's not going to use like a quint or anything.
Absolutely.
Well, fine. If you guys all want to take a quick rest, I will keep watch. Just be quiet.
All
I don't want
right.
any more surprises. Back away from the windows. I don't care that they're boarded up.
Minerva will lean against a wall and slide down it, bracing herself with her cane, and try to rest. Actually, as she is resting, she's going to pull out a notebook and a pencil and start sketching.
Hannah is gonna kneel, walk over to Minerva, and pass out, leaning against the same wall, but her head on Minerva's shoulder.
I'm gonna put the just the solitary check on November. Professor November, give me just a D100, stay above a 20. All right. Anybody who is resting, essentially, which is everybody, unless Professor November is keeping the Mirage up, can spend hit dice, do anything you could normally do on a short rest.
Do I get the benefit of?
You get, if you're keeping the illusion up, you would not. But if you are not doing that, then you do get the benefits.
I will. I'll keep the illusion up the whole time. I'll want that spell slot later, but is what it is.
Sure. The so Alex is leaning up, or he's like also leaning and then sitting down against one of just the downed shelves, and is kind of rifling through the trash that's on the ground, grabbing stuff that looks a little cleaner. Holding stuff up close to his eyes because it is a little dark in here. The light coming in from the window through the illusion helps a little bit, but so he's like holding stuff up close, and you can hear him sniffing different things if you can't see in the dark. And he's just stuffing the small wounds with pieces of discarded newspaper and things like that. All aesthetic, obviously, but he recovers all of his hit points in the process.
And she says she's not a robot.
I would appreciate it if you would keep those remarks to yourself.
Well, I said that out loud. Sorry, Miss Minerva.
Let's get moving. We still got a lot of ground to cover. And try.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, just he's try and be quiet.
What birds are in the area, Matt?
Oh.
And/or can I just get a pigeon?
Oh yeah, there's easily pigeons around, so you could absolutely get a pigeon.
I would like some pigeons, please.
Pigeons, please. You're calling with your class ability, correct? Like the
Yes.
actual ability? Okay.
You want me to link it?
No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't something else that you were using. So you get like a pack of 10 pigeons that come fluttering through the... so like some down through the vents, others come from like from above you, and a couple from below, like up the staircase and stuff. But Minerva, after concentrating for a few seconds, this flutter of wings comes through, and you have like this semicircle of 10 pigeons that are kind of standing in front of you, cocking their heads back and forth. Very reminiscent of Home Alone, if you've seen that.
Yes, I have. I'm waiting. I'm giving a pregnant pause here so people can react to that if they would like to before I continue.
My mouth just opens.
Okay.
So no cat this time.
It doesn't always have to be cats, Darian.
Well, I don't know how this works. You turn into a bird one day, a cat shows up the next, I murder some of your rats another day. You're like Dr. Doo-Doo.
I have no idea how it works either. But I'm gonna try. If you can understand me, because I know the cat did. If you would please spread out, go in different directions, and come back if you see two giant dog creatures. Just
So as you
fly
say,
for yeah, okay.
oh yeah. So I didn't mean to cut you off. If you have other instructions, you're more than welcome to give them.
Or like if 2 or 3 minutes pass and you don't see them, just come back.
All
That's
right.
probably
So
too complex issue question. Sorry.
That's not too complex, I don't think. So as you say, like you all spread, you're talking to the pigeons. You all spread out, and the moment you say that, like they all kind of hop one direction away from the closest one near them. Then you say, go out and go out in different directions, find dogs, and then come back if you find one. If not, come back later. Essentially, every word, the moment it comes out of your mouth, as you kind of think it right before your mouth says it, they follow those commands. So, and then as they're leaving, you give the rest of the line of command. And the party kind of sits maybe in silence for a couple of minutes. One pigeon comes back after maybe 60 seconds, and then the other ones follow suit another minute to 2 minutes after that, all kind of coming back at the same time.
What direction did that pigeon come from?
So as you kind of think that, it looks at you and it looks back over its head toward the north.
Nice. Okay.
So the direction you guys ran from. So for
Just
sure.
wanted to make sure.
Yep.
All right, so let's not go north.
Can you have them search for other things, like peoples?
That was the plan, yes. Once I know a direction, I can ask them to scout ahead a little.
We need to go south and east.
All right, well, let's go. Before they
Hey,
lose interest.
Hey, doctor, your legs and stuff are looking pretty banged up. Are you going to be okay this part of the trip?
Yes, I'll be fine. He's actually taking the time to use his hit dice over the short rest, so he's back to full hit points. But thank you for getting me out of there.
Alex pipes up. Used to see my uncle carry his son around on his back. I'm sure one of us could do that, Doc, if you need us to.
I mean, if you assist, I won't oppose.
Yeah, man, you patched me up so many times before. Hop on. He kind of pats above his backpack as he drops it down a little bit. So we got the doctor piggyback riding on Alex. Everybody else moving, excuse me, solo to solo. The professor running out ahead, just a touch. Minerva, outside, are you sending the pigeons ahead, or are you keeping them nearby? What's your plan?
I would like to have them keep ahead and come to me if they see other people. And then, if so, I'll cast Speak with Animals at that point.
All right. So the pigeons all go up kind of above the buildings. You see them spread out a little bit, and they're just circling around and things like that. Let's go ahead and roll a thing or two. Excuse me. 2 more checks. We will need semi-reset on the tables. Graham has rolled. Let's give Minerva to roll since she's got these guys out. 1D 100. Let's stay above a 35.
God damn it.
That just means that there is a ping. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, I promise. My table is not all death. Go ahead and give me a D10. One of the pigeons kind of dives back down in front of you. You relay with them back and forth, so you don't communicate direct. You get a. It's kind of questioning, or not questioning. It's kind of portraying that it doesn't know what it saw, but it wasn't just natural, and it gives you this like sense of obscured vision and fire. So essentially, it is relaying that it sees fire and smoke coming from south and west. It's not portraying big smoke and fire, but it is fire with like a plume of smoke, probably.
There's a fire or something to the southwest, apparently.
Good thing we're going southeast.
I can't agree more, November. Professor November, of course, sorry.
Yes. You are learning.
The sense, by the way, is it's 2, maybe 3 blocks. It is not far south and west from your current position as you guys continue to move south and east. So it's relatively close, but not close enough to be immediate concern. Just a note more than anything else.
Sure we don't want to check it out?
For me, fire usually leads to ashers, and I'm not a big fan of ashers. If you want to check it out,
that is a very fair point.
Or those Victory Church guys, and you know how pushy they are.
Yeah, let's not do that again. I will pat the pigeon on the head and tell it good job and have it go out again.
It darts back up into the air, feeling quite proud of itself. Last check. Doctor, from your perch on Alex's back, go ahead and give me a D100, stay above a 40, please. It is indeed above a 40. So you guys find yourself in the Lower East Side. A couple hours of daylight remaining. It's going to be tough between the rest that was taken, the little bit of the detour as well. Be thinking about what you would like to do. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of an early break and get a solid 2 hours of the second half of the session in. So we're going to step away for 15 minutes. We'll come back right at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. Or excuse me, what is that? 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock Eastern. My apologies. And then we'll play for 2 more hours with the party in the general vicinity of where they want to be for this little mission that they are on. So go ahead, production, and take us away to a break. And we will see you all back in 15 or so minutes. And welcome back to Rhapsody, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game set in the close future after a cataclysmic event known as The Falling. If you want to find out all the information about the setting, the players, talk to all of us, head on over to our Discord, !D&D in Twitch, or in the description down below if you're watching in the future on YouTube. You can read the, you can read the living document. You can see how everything has progressed. I'm even working on trying to get a journal section put up so you can see what you've missed without having to watch all of the other episodes. But I would encourage you to do that. We're sponsored in part by InkedGaming.com and Team Rankstar. Go to InkedGaming.com to play your games with your style. Use code TRS12 to get 12% off your final purchase. You can get play mats, battle maps for Dungeons & Dragons, carrying cases, anything your heart desires. That's InkedGaming.com. Code TRS12 for 12% off your final purchase. Thanks again to Team Rankstar as well. If you enjoyed the tunes during the break, you can thank Max Tunes at taketones.com. You can get free music for your streams or your YouTube videos. All you have to do is exactly what I am. Thank the creator, thank the website, and you're scot-free as long as you're not making too much money. There are some things that apply, so make sure you read the fine print. A final thank you to Wizards of the Coast for creating such a beautiful system in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're using 95% of their rules, all of their material. We just added a couple other things. And the last thank you goes out, of course, to Roll20.net. Roll20.net is a free service where you can play with your friends from around the world in a single location. You can start for free today going to Roll20.net, signing up and getting your account and start playing a multitude of games. I think they have over 100 games in their list now. Dungeons & Dragons, Dark Heresy, GURPS. Ping Emily, the player from Minerva. She can tell you which systems are the best and how many of them are available on Roll20 to be able to play. A lot of them. But again, you can find me on Twitter at MantedMan. Go to our Discord. Anything you like, follow along, hang out with us. But we're going to get back into the action. When we left off, the party had started off very strong. Got into combat right away with a couple of heavily scaled canines, it seemed like. They ended up forcing the party to disengage and run away. They were hiding in an abandoned warehouse, rested up, healed up a little bit, patched their wounds, and have now ventured back into the city to try and get down into the Lower East Side. And that is where we find them. Minerva starts to recognize some of her old neighborhood down in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Sorry, I lost the word there. That was crazy. So we'll kick right back off into this. I think Minerva was just checking with the tail end of her. How long do your summons last right now?
I think it's still an hour.
Okay, so if it's an hour, that you had the last hour of travel, or you have the tail end because it was just checking my thing. Okay, so yeah, they would be departing kind of as you get into the area of the Lower East Side. So they kind of swoop down and, love you, Ma. Thanks for helping us out. Glad we could help. Is the feelings you get. They don't speak, obviously.
Yeah, not unless I cast a spell that allows me to speak.
Yeah.
All right. That's all the help they'll give us. I'm gonna try looking for more, but they're heading back. But we're here. There used to be a good deli in that building over there.
Are we going to the safe house or what?
Well, the job that we have right now, is that like high priority, time sensitive, or do you think we can head over to safe house right now? Like, just give me a sec. I need to check my map, see if I can kind of remember with the landmarks of which way we're going.
Check your maps. I don't think they have to stop for the night too, so they actually might be at the safe house, come to think of it.
Keep engaging and disengaging somebody. I haven't been able to see who that is, but hopefully it is not me or the streamer. It does not look like it is.
Graham.
Ah, all right.
So using my Wanderer background feature, Matt, since we are now in the location, I'm trying to recall using my maps where exactly that safe house was.
Absolutely. I am pulling it up now. Because we did some running and I wasn't able to track it straight line. Darian, go ahead and give me give me a D12. An 8. All right. So you find yourself currently at the corner of East Broadway and Rutgers Street. The safe house you are looking for is 2 blocks over and to the south, kind of on the corner of, what streets are those? Cherry and Clinton in the Monroe District. There is, excuse me, an old clinic on the second floor of a building there that was retrofitted with some extra protections and things like that. That is where you want to be. The police station that you are looking, well, not necessarily the police station you're looking for because there's a house that they were in, but the police station is it's a few blocks, more than a few blocks, excuse me. It is down Madison Street, about a 30-minute walk to the west.
Okay, so opposite direction pretty much of the safe house.
Yes.
All right, kind of recalling what I got here. If we want to set up for the safe house, we're not too far, maybe a block or two that way. But we're trying to get the job done as quick as possible to get your license back, Miss Hannah. We're going to be going the opposite direction. We still probably got at least a half an hour, and kind of by looking at the sun, we maybe got only 2 hours left of sunlight.
Might be a better idea to go to the safe house, rest, and try that place in the morning.
Are we sure they'll still be there? It's already been a full day.
I'm sure I don't want to fight whatever Remy saw in the middle of the night.
Well, this would sound like a dumb idea. But if you all kind of want to move your way back to the safe house, maybe me and one other person, we could go real quiet, go real quick, check to see how the outside looks, see if, it looks like someone's been setting up, pillaging, and if we see any signs, we run back.
Checking if the safe house is fine, you're saying?
You guys can all head on to the safe house. I'll try and run my way down to the police station, keep my distance, of course, maybe take some back alleys and just see how it looks from the outside, see if it's already looked completely pillaged at this point, and if not, then, well, either way, I'll be heading back. I'm not going to be going in there by myself. I ain't an idiot.
Aren't you the one who knows these people in the safe house?
Oh, this is just a generalized safe houses. We're real nice. It's a stop for travelers who usually venture out this far. There's actually a lot in the city. You'd be surprised. They let you stay. It's all, I would say, at least for me, I find common courtesies to give them something in exchange as they are letting you stay there in the safety of their fortified position.
All right.
What do the rest of you think? Do you all want to go directly to the safe house or the police station?
If we're going to the police station, I think all of us should go. But I think if you want to go, Darian, I'm not going to stop you.
Over, I can't say I want to go, but as I have a trade agreement with Miss Hannah here, I would also very much hate to see her lose her S2 license.
I think we should all go. Is the safe house open to people in the middle of the night or not?
Matt, I would
Excuse
know
me.
they
Yeah,
probably lock up pretty tight, right?
they do lock up, but they will let people in if it's the later. Essentially, the later it gets, the more they are probably expecting from you to stay there. But they will open up and let people in who are verifiably not Ashers or a problem.
Well, if we're gonna go there, if we're gonna try and do the police station and get back to the safe house, all I'm gonna say is we want to get there either when they're shutting up the doors or pretty close after. Otherwise, we're gonna have to cop up some pretty nice gear or some nice good trade for them to open up the door just in case something's behind us. Darian will look up to the sky and kind of see where the sun is. Time's the tick, and I need to know which way we're going and what we're doing. I leave it to a lot of you. I follow your lead.
You're more experienced out here, Darian. You suggest going to the police station first?
If we're doing the police station, we got a limited time. Get there, check it out, and then we got to mosey on back because we're going to be pushing it. And that's going at a pretty brisk pace.
Let's go then.
All right, so it sounds like it is a group decision to head, or a group understanding that we're heading to the police station.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's like a 30-minute move towards the police station to the west from where you are right now. Excuse me, save that burp. Since it was Darian's idea, let's get a Darian check. D100, stay above a 45.
Jesus.
No. Hey, remember, they're not all bad. It's all right. Darian, a D. Let's see, we're down in the Lower East Side, far away from the garden. D20, actually. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, so about 10, 15 minutes into the brisk power walk, who has a passive perception above a 14? 14 or higher?
Me.
Minerva. Anybody else? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Not even close.
Not even close. So as the sky is starting to darken, the sun is in some areas casting long shadows from the taller standing buildings still. Minerva, you spot kind of against that darkening sky a low-hanging black cloud. At first you think maybe it's smoke. Go ahead and give me a nature check. So you don't smell smoke in the air. You've never seen storm clouds this low, but you think that may be what it is. And when I'm saying low, it like the top of it does not go above like 6 or 7 stories into the sky. Like this, you only see the top section of this cloud. The rest of it is below the lower skyline of the 2 and 3 stories. But yeah, it doesn't seem natural, but you can't place what it could be. But it's not. You don't smell smoke in the air, so you have no clue what this is. You're more than welcome to point it out to everybody else. It's just off in the distance towards the police station, maybe a block north of it, and 2 blocks closer to you than the police station is.
Does that look suspicious to anyone else?
It's a cloud.
Yes, but a cloud of what? It looks bizarre.
So as you say, it looks bizarre, and everybody's looking in that direction. Everybody except Minerva, give me a perception check. Minerva would see it outright. Darian sees nothing. Dylan, Hannah will also see this. The doctor.
20 vision, boy.
I got him 20/20 vision. And the professor will also see this. I'll give Alex a fair shot also there. This doesn't bode well for Alex. Okay. So the professor, the doctor, and Minerva will see this. I'll give the doctor some extra goodies in a second. So everybody, the 3 who do see it.
Does Hannah see it?
Hannah. For some reason. I saw Darian's before. I didn't see yours. So you also see it. So essentially everybody except Darian and Alex see this. That's my fault. Thank you for the point out there. So everybody except for myself and Darian see the cloud itself is indeed like a cloud, maybe fog or something like that. Who knows? But there are things moving around inside. You don't know if it's magic or animals or drones. It's hard to tell, but there's like the cloud moves and shifts and things dart in and out very quickly. The doctor, you can tell that they are very large bats that are darting in and out of this cloud, and you're looking at the cloud itself, and it is it looks like fog, like a thick black fog, and they're these large bats. You're able to compare with your ridiculous vision. You're able to compare against like stuff that's around them. You know, the top of a light post, maybe the window of a building. These bats, the wingspan on them is as long as like a grown person's arm span. So like a solid 5.5 to 6 feet across. So they dart in, dart out, and there's hundreds of them in this thick black fog.
Okay, that's definitely not good. Do you see those things flying in and out of it?
I do. What the fuck are they?
I'm not quite sure I want to know.
They look like bats. Big bats.
I don't know what anybody talk about. If we got to get to that state, if we're getting to the jailhouse, we need to keep going.
Yeah, let's not get lost looking at the sky. Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Doc, give me one more perception really quick. Just to see if you notice one other detail. Nope. Okay.
It's no coincidence that where we're going is in the same direction as that.
We'll just have to be quiet then.
You think it's Kalis related?
Maybe. But shh. I'm gonna tap everyone on the shoulder and give them pass without trace. And we're gonna be sneaky.
Darian would like to try and very quietly pry up one of the manhole covers.
So if you've ever been to New York, the manhole covers don't have like holes like you would find in a suburban neighborhood. I don't know what they're like in Canada. It's way too far away. But in New York, there's just like a small hook or a small loop that you have to have a specialized hook that lifts it up, and then you can lift with that. If you don't have that tool, very difficult to accomplish.
Well, Darian would like to rage and stick his pinky finger in the manhole cover.
Raging and pinky finger into the manhole cover. All right. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. We're looking for a 14 or better, and then athletics is going to be a breeze. Jesus. All right. Well, you're able to get your pinky in very dexterously and yank. Can crits be bad? Are you too strong? No. All right. So this is wrought iron. That's for Hannah, would take a fair amount of effort to shape into anything useful. But you are able to, you yank this manhole cover out. It pulls you pull the ring that's set into the street out as well, and chunks of asphalt just come flying out of the ground as well. Their manhole cover itself is like, 2.5, 3 feet wide, and the ring on the outside brings it to like 3.5 feet, and then the chunks of asphalt that you have now torn away as well makes this hole 5 feet and change all the way across, easy for something to fall down in. And you have like a 600-pound chunk of wrought iron and stone, rebar, things like that attached. I'm sure you get like a decent grip with your hand as you heft it out of the ground.
Yeah, if it's 600 pounds, I can't carry it, but then I will Mario Man style down the pipe hole.
What's everybody else doing as you guys hear this raucous and Darian just drops down into the ground?
What the fuck is he doing?
There's giant balls down there.
Darian! We can be sneaky up here!
Darian, give me a D10. Give me a D20 plus 10. We're going to find out how far this drop actually is. 24 feet. You are raging, so you only take half of this. You'll take 3 damage from the impact as you hit the bottom of this very large sewer pipe. Oh no. There's another roll. Roll a D100. You want to be above a 50. 51 or better.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
So this isn't... You look around as you hear Minerva call down to you in that kind of hushed tone. You thought you were like going into a sewer. Manhole cover, sewer. You were alive before the falling, obviously. But you're like, wait a second. There should be water. There's not. It's crunchy. What is that metal? Oh my gosh. You have this realization just wash over you immediately. You are in the subway tunnels below the Lower East Side.
Darian is freaking the fuck out, and his tactical goggles are on.
All right. So you see above you, don't look directly up because it will hurt your eyeballs. But you can kind of in your periphery see Minerva leaning down. Darian, what are you doing? And you glance around, kind of freaking out. Give me a perception. All right. There are... So this has been... You see now is that the tactical goggles kind of buzz to life, into being the greenish gray tint to everything. But you see scorch marks up the walls. There are like these black sooted handprints all over the place. Writing that you don't that I don't think you understand. What are your languages that you speak?
Common and Spanish.
Common and Spanish are not languages that will help you in this scenario. So script in a language that you don't understand, and like hands that are plastered up against the wall, pointing kind of in different directions, things like that. Give me a survival check as well. And a lot of the marks that you're seeing as you kind of look to the wall, like right behind you, are very recent, like hours old at the most.
Darian's going, fuck, rope, I need a rope.
I'm getting rope. Wait, do I have rope?
Alex pulls a rope from his bag, and it's got some bloodstains on it from where he had it wrapped around his waist, some of the wounds. I got this. What's down there? And starts like unfurling. It's 50 feet of rope, so it's more than enough to get down, and he's got it like wrapped around his arms a couple times. Help me get this idiot out of there.
I will try and help. Not sure how helpful I'll be, but I'm trying.
All right, Darian, go ahead and give me. You're no longer raging. Give me an athletics check. This is climb. Jeez. Darian jumps Darian jumps like 6 feet up, gets a hold of the rope, just hand over hand. You can see the fear as he gets closer back up to the light. The fear in his face is dragging him up more than his muscles are. But he's strained, veins popping out, and he just launches himself up out of the hole back onto the ground above.
And I will take the blindness. I did not care. I just kept going up and over that rope.
Why the fuck did you jump down there?
I thought it was like a sewer. Like we could go down the ladder and just hide from the clouds as you're all so afraid there. No, it wasn't a sewer. Fuck this. I'm just... And Darian just tries to find the nearest alley to just get away from this hole.
That's where the giant moles live.
Fuck your moles, Professor.
Yes, fuck the moles. They're not my moles, though.
Shut up, Professor, and get the hell away from this hole.
You better be quiet. We're trying to be sneaky.
I will muzzle you.
You're the one making all the noise.
All right. Just be quiet. Let's keep going. And cover that goddamn hole.
I don't. I just keep going.
Alex is like...
Minerva would not say goddamn. Scratch that.
Good correction. Alex catches that order. He's helping pull the rope back up as well. And then the moment Darian says that, he stops when he sees that Hannah is pulling the rope up and braces and starts pushing on the slab of metal and asphalt. It's kind of broken up a little bit more. It falls in kind of cockeyed, but it covers most of the hole. It doesn't fall down into it, but it's enough to sort of seal the hole closed.
Can I ask a question about my perception check? Because I would have had expertise on that one, so I would have gotten a 22. Did I see the handprints, the freshness coming from where we were going, or going the way to the other way?
How scared were you?
Yeah, I was pretty freaking out.
Let's 50-50 shot. You tell me what you're going to roll and what you want to roll, and we'll find out.
Roll D100, and I want to roll low.
All right. Then 50 or lower. Okay. You do see, and the fresher handprints were pointing away from the direction that you're heading, but there were multiples pointing in the direction that you guys are going. But the most fresh are pointing away from it.
Okay.
Let's just quickly get where we need to go. Quickly, but quietly. That's how you survive in the streets.
All right.
Everybody go ahead and
we're...
stealth checks. Everybody at plus 10.
That was a misclick. Ignore that persuasion.
I'm essentially looking for ones here. Beautiful. Oh, I probably should roll Alex's. He's actually relatively stealthy. Alex disappears, pulls a Drax, and just stops moving. Nobody can see him now.
No, we need to keep moving.
All right.
John Cena.
One last check here. Let's have the doctor roll this one. Give me a D100, Doc. Stay above a 45.
For once, maybe we can pass one of these? No!
All right. The D20, please.
How did we get 2 on a half-hour trip.
High activity.
I jumped down a hole.
It's a pretty hard
I've been
day.
working.
Oh, that's right. There's a slash. Okay, I was gonna say 1's not great. 13 much better. 13. Oh, this is at a distance. Minerva would see this. Everybody's moving stealthily and carefully. Everybody else, go ahead and give me a perception. Minerva's going to see it regardless, but you can give me one to see if you see better stuff. Doctor. That
Man,
near-death
the doctor's
experience.
So good at perception.
Yeah, that near-death experience has sharpened the doctor's senses. Hannah will see, the doctor will see, Minerva will see. I was just seeing if we had any extra and stuff in there. Yeah, a lot of nat 20s. All right. So I'll give everybody who does see it, anybody who got a 15 or better will see this, and then I'll give the doctor some extra information again. Hannah, or everybody else who sees the regular sight, is another speaker and another envoy, guardian, whatever you want to call them, another large person. This one, you can't tell the like size necessarily accurately. Just one is much larger than the other one. You can't see the weapons and stuff because they're 5 or 6 blocks away, but right in the area that you guys are walking to, where the police station is. Or, excuse me, 3 or 4 blocks. Y'all are pretty close. 3 or 4 blocks away. You see the torch held high as the sky is getting darker. Doc sees just a block or so over is a like a 12-story building, and on the roof of the building you see the glint of light off of glass.
They're here again.
Yep. And Hannah is going to make an immediate left turn, or whatever turn is in the direction of the police station, down an alley or side street.
Sure. You guys are heading like directly west, so you're heading down like a southern alley.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, let's circle around these fools. We've got no time to debate with them.
So we're dodging around, the party moving together to try and dodge around the speaker.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me... everybody go ahead and give me just stealth checks again. That's fine, because it's dexterity as well. So these are all at plus 10
Plus
still.
10. Darian.
I'm having a real bad time right now, okay?
Off and on. Even when you succeed, it just gets you into trouble.
No, like emotionally, I'm having a real bad time right now.
Darian, give me a Constitution save, because you're going to take a little tumble, being overly careful. So you let out just a small yelp as you fall, and like the edge of your axe kind of catches your side as you're trying to brace yourself. You let out a small yelp, but you're able to silence it pretty quick. But everybody else around you like hears it, and they react however they're going to react. But you're on the ground. You've cut yourself just a touch, 1 point of damage. That's all.
Get up, you fool.
Motherfucker, this piece of shit, right? And I just slowly pick myself up.
Let's loop, swoosh, and pull. That's how you tie your shoes.
I will literally punch you in the face right now, November.
November, give me a D100 here.
$76.
We were trying to get 77 or better. I'm just kidding. No. Okay. So you weave your way around. Darian kind of holding his side a little bit, that little 1 point of damage, but you weave your way around pretty quietly the rest of the way through. Who would be in front of the pack currently?
Hannah said she was turning down the side
Yeah,
street,
I
right?
think it'd
I
be
was gonna
Hannah.
say that, yeah.
Makes sense to me. So, Hannah, you'll be the first to see as you come around a corner, having a little bit of knowledge about New York since you've been here before. You know kind of where the police station is that you're headed to. You turn the corner and you see the big courtyard of Police Plaza. Normally would have a bunch of like police cars parked, usually other stuff if the world hadn't ended. The police station is a burned out shell currently, has been just ignited. The fire is obviously very old. It's not like there's no fire currently. There's no smoke. You're about it's hour and a half to nightfall, somewhere between an hour and a half to nightfall. More than enough time to be able to get back. But the police station is burned out. And give me a perception as you turn the corner first, or look around the corner. You don't notice anything else, but everybody else kind of catches up unless you stop them for any reason.
I have no reason.
Okay. Everybody else go ahead and give me a perception. Minerva will see immediately. And these are 15s is what we're looking for.
Ooh,
Minerva's going to have
nat
extra
20
information.
tonight.
Oh, I will do it as well. Alex won't see anything. All right. Anybody with 15s or better will see this, and then I'll give some extra information to Minerva to relate if she so desires. There are multiple people wandering around outside of the police station. We're going to find out how many. Sorry, I was typing. I forget you guys can't see what I'm doing. So there are 9 walking around. Minerva, you notice that one of them is carrying a very large weapon, very large firearm. Do you know what an M249 is? A squad weapon, machine gun.
I mean,
Oh my
that
God.
sounds like a gun name.
Okay, fair. Very large, full automatic weapon that is usually carried by somebody who is substantial in size because of how much it weighs. It packs quite a punch, usually used to suppress multiple enemies at the same time. So you see that. Nobody else sees that. Everybody else sees the shapes kind of moving around in front of the burned out building. But you notice that on the steps of the building is somebody like just kind of kneeled down with this large machine gun across the lap.
That's a lot of people.
Oh, fuck, I didn't even notice them. How many are there?
Looks like around 10. They definitely have some firearms of some kind.
We can't handle 10 people. Especially if they have guns.
Do you notice any of them, Minerva? Maybe we could look for them at the safe house, because they might be going there.
I mean, I see them. I guess I can try and study them and remember their faces, maybe?
Give me a. Are you trying to remember their faces or to commit their faces to memory?
Commit their faces to memory.
Give me a perception check. You know what you're looking for, so we'll do it at advantage. Give me a D6. This is how many people you'll be able to remember. One. And give me a D9. You're looking for a 1 to remember if it's the gunner or not. Nope. Okay. So only one of them has a like hood pulled back enough, or less stuff on the face, so you're able to see one of them and get a clear like shot of the face to be able to commit to memory. Everybody else has got hoods pulled up or scraggly hair or something like that. You can't make out any features that make anybody else stand out.
All right, I can see one.
Minerva,
November.
can you turn into any animal?
I don't know. You saw the first time I've tried.
Perhaps you turn into something that can see real good in the dark and is very quiet.
Like a kitty.
Like a kitty.
Darian, give me a stealth check.
I'm just standing here.
Oh, I know, but you're the only one who didn't quell the voice during the RP stuff. You're able to you catch yourself like a kid. Oh, like a kitty. You passed, by the way. You're all right.
I just hold my hands over my mouth now.
This shape-shifting. Perhaps you could turn into a remote control car. But we don't have a controller. And if we did, we'd need batteries.
Are we moving forward?
If you would like me to try that plan to check it out more, I can. Otherwise, I would consider this enough searching for the day, and we can go back to the safe house.
I support that. We're not necessarily here for the police station. We need to find those men. Plus,
Maybe.
there's nothing in that building. It was set on fire very long ago.
Matt, based on my invasion of Remy's mind, is this the building?
It is not. You remember seeing a much more closed area that was not burned, likely a mid-size apartment or something like that. You remember like a bookcase, the gun safe, and a closet, obviously, but it was a much more confined and not much less burned out area.
Yeah. This isn't the building we're looking for anyway.
Okay, so we go back and
We ask around, see what they've seen.
all right, let's go.
Hey, I just let's get a little ways back, and I'll tell you something before we head back that way. So I'll start
If it's
heading
an
back
idea
down the
about
alley.
jumping into sewers, I don't want to hear it.
I will give Professor November the most pissed off look that I've ever given him.
Doesn't faze him.
Seriously, what were you thinking?
All right, so headed back east towards the safe house area.
Yeah, and as soon as we get like pretty far away from that group, I will inform everybody of what I saw in the sewers. So I know Minerva can do a thing where it almost seems to muffle the sounds. So like, there were some Asher signs that looked real recent down in that hole, and I apologize, I wasn't thinking. He just all said that we want to avoid that cloud, and sometimes I don't think right, and I apologize for that, and I just kind of lost my mind down in there because that's the last place I want to go. I don't want to be down in the subways, and there I found myself. So it seems like the fresh signs were going back the opposite way of where they were going the way that we're now heading. So we should probably get there quickly because time's running out, but we should try to be pretty quiet.
Good to know.
Who would like to roll for your walk back?
I will, because I'm going to roll a goddamn number that is fine.
All right, D100, stay above a 50, please.
This is going to be a 73. Oh, it's
Damn
so close! Ah!
Nice. We'll need one more. Who would like to volunteer?
The doctor's always good.
The doctor has been volunteered. Doctor, Hannah already rolled, so I'm taking that one.
The doctor just messed up the last one. Why would you
That's-
involve?
All right, I'm gonna move us over here. If production does not have a map up, I don't have the stream going, just the chat. But boop. So you got to dodge, going back up and around. You dodge up, coming from the south. You are down here. Go ahead and position yourselves pressed up against that building where you would like to be, in whichever order. Sorry, I was moving Alex. I didn't mean to move Hannah. Geek gook. There we go. Oh yeah, Alex has is not carrying the doctor anymore. So Alex right there. All right, Darian, you're up front. This twilight hours, a bunch of the more long shadows along the streets. About an hour until true nightfall. 1 moment here. I need a D12 from Hannah, who got your 38.
This D12 represents how many of those dog creatures we're going to fight.
It does not, but it does represent something. A 12.
How many rations we have to give away to get to those dicks again?
Oh, man. We got 12, right? I alt-tabbed.
Yeah, 12.
All right, cool. Oh, weird. Well, I can tell you now what it is just because people from Dry Gulch will remember this. So it is it is undead of some kind, and I went into my key. You guys remember that zombie dragon that you fought? It came up first, and don't worry, that's not what we're fighting. But that was the first one that came up in my stuff.
Thank God.
All right.
Darren just pats his hand, puts his arms up, and just walks away. He's like, I'm done. Just gonna die here.
Mm. All right, I will. Oh, come on. All right, so I just had the X on just so you know he's not walking. All right, so Darian, you see as you peek around first, there are two very slow-moving people kind of shambling down the streets. They look very dirty. Behind one of them, there is what looks like a body being dragged maybe, but as you kind of look closer, go ahead and give me a perception. So when you look closer, it looks like a person as well. One more perception. I can't give you any more details on the person. The body looks very dirty, and you don't hear anything. But there are two very slow-moving people walking in the direction that you would need to turn at this intersection, walking away from it.
Hey guys, there's some people coming the way that we're going to be going. Do we just want to, hunker down, be real quiet, walking past? Could be more of those. Well, maybe not the Victory guys. They look a little dirty, but just something
Stop
you don't
talking,
really need to.
just shh.
Like,
If you want to be quiet, be quiet.
Hannah is going to subtle spell cast silent image. It should be that of a empty street. if someone's looking this way, they just see an empty street going back.
Yeah, correct. It would inhibit anything. So even the people behind it that aren't caught in it wouldn't be seen. All right. So we're waiting. Minerva, you will hear it first. Everybody else can go ahead and give me a perception.
I love having a high passive.
Yep.
So different
Darian,
from last game.
you'll catch it. The doc doesn't hear it. Hannah doesn't hear it until they get closer. But so that as they get like right around, like here, Darian and Minerva will hear, and then Darian and Minerva, go ahead and give me a second perception check. So Minerva will hear, and you all, or the two that got the 15s also can see the dirty people. A lot of flesh missing from the legs, chest, faces. They're what should be blood that they're leaving behind is like this black ichor. Minerva, you hear from the what looks like man being dragged almost by a chain that is like wrapped around him. There's like a couple of meat hooks that are in the rear shambling thing. You hear, oh God, no. So definitely alive still. The X just represents on the ground. Everybody hears it after 10, 15 more seconds. Hears the just the groaning.
God in heaven.
Shh.
K-lists. Does it resemble a K-list?
Oh yeah, as they pass, and you all can kind of see, since you've interacted essentially with the image, it doesn't hamper your vision at all. You can see as a couple of beams of light still cut down the city. They are definite. The wounds that you can see would not allow them to walk if they were regular people. I mean, legs are like down to near bone. One of them doesn't even have a face. It's just like this black skull that you can see. Bits of the tongue like hanging out of the mouth, kind of agape. No eye sockets on either of or no eyes in the eye sockets on either of them. Burns. One of them has like a crowbar like sticking through the rib cage. And then the meat hooks that are in the rear one that are attached to this guy that's being dragged.
Is there anything recognizable about the guy being dragged?
He's not wearing like dirty clothes like the Asher bodies that you found before. But it's not anybody that you recognize. Decently kempt, so maybe from the garden. It's hard to tell. He's more blood and struggle than anything else at this point.
And the crowbar isn't my work, right?
No, it is. You recognize your work. This is it's like you can see bright yellow flecks of paint. This is a crowbar that was probably scavenged from a hardware store or something.
Bright orange or bright yellow?
Bright yellow, like a what is that? DeWalt is the company.
Yeah.
Are you seeing this, Doctor?
I am. But what am I seeing?
It's exactly what I told you. The K-lists.
I know, but like what?
We will have to capture one.
Now's our opportunity.
We should follow them and see where they go.
Yes, follow.
Good
What?
idea.
What?
You're all idiots, right?
This is where we're going. This is what Remy saw. If they are anywhere, they're where those things are taking them. And those things might have taken that man from the safe house.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We stick 3 blocks behind them the whole time.
Can you get some more birds?
Do I sense any nocturnal birds waking up? An owl, maybe?
Boop. Give me a D5. Let's find out. One owl. A couple of like pods of bats that are starting to like swarm around. Not large bats. These feel like regular bats. And give me a D10. Buzzard actually as well.
Are buzzards nocturnal?
No, but there is dying flesh around.
Yeah. I feel like a buzzard might be too tempted to eat the dying flesh that's walking around. I want to call an owl because it's silent.
So anybody paying attention? Minerva, how do you call? Do you like close your eyes? What do you do?
I would close my eyes and I'm kind of like turning my head, like not just like the angle of the neck, but like also just like a slight incline to the side a little too. Like I'm hearing something,
Mm-hmm.
and I would actually reach out an arm, and I think the owl would fly down onto it.
Okay. Yeah. So you all see Minerva kind of go through this, and she just holds her arm out, and this large, like great horned owl, a solid like 2.5 feet tall, swoops down and just lands like gingerly on Minerva's arm, and it whips its head around like 120 degrees both directions, taking you all in, and then it rubs the top of its head up against Minerva. Ooh.
Are you? Sorry, not time.
Not the time.
So
I'm
we
gonna
trying?
have. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go, Minerva.
I'm out of character. This is out of character thing. I'm gonna have the owl follow them at the like from building to building, and just in case they disappear somewhere where we can't see them, I know where to keep going.
All right. And you all are sticking, I heard, 3 blocks back away from them.
My only
Yeah.
question is, are we just gonna follow him, or are we gonna try and get that guy off their back? He's still alive, and I'm kind of interested to know what kind of sick bastard would hook someone to a whatever the hell those things were.
If we have the opportunity, but it's not my priority.
What is the time frame right now for nighttime?
Let's find out. There
How
you go.
far away from the safe house are we time wise?
Mm,
We got a while to follow these, but my priority is to get the hell out of the streets before nighttime. So whatever we're gonna do, we're doing it quick.
how long would we follow?
Are they going the opposite direction from the safe house?
Yes. So the safe house is... Oh, what? That's not the button I need. The safe house is this direction. They're headed that direction.
15 minutes? That gives us enough time to get back.
Works for me.
If they're not there by 15 minutes, I'll just give more directions to the owl.
Sure. Hannah, since you said 15 minutes, give me a d20, please. All right. So after like 15 minutes, staying low, kind of sticking to shadows, 3 blocks back, they continue moving just down the street, kind of determined. Give me one more d20, Hannah. And yeah, so the 15 minutes is up. What is the party doing?
Can we hear the guy like mumbling and like, oh, like pretty much begging for his life or in pain?
It's all very low, and 3 blocks back, that's like 200, 300 feet at least.
Oh, okay, yep. So what's going on? We heading back? We trying to figure something out?
We should head back at this point. Yeah.
We don't want to try and save that guy.
Do you want to save that guy?
Well, y'all said you need information, and honestly, this is the closest thing we got, right?
Well, we need to go. Maybe what was the guy wearing?
It was mostly bloodied, but it was, I mean, they were like standard clothes, maybe like a tweed jacket, denim jeans.
So he wasn't outfitted like a crazy scavenger who's super successful, or
Correct.
like a guard.
Correct.
I'm less interested in him and more interested in finding the safe house. That guard has Remy. Remy knows where the safe house is. Not your safe house. The safe house with the gun vault.
You will tell me what we're doing. This is what you pay me for. I do what you say. I'm just trying to fill the gaps that I don't have all the answers to.
As you guys are kind of talking low, walking still, or watching at least, even if you're not walking, you don't hear anything, but you see both of the shamblers kind of stand up straight. They both turn around, and very quickly they dive on this guy that's behind them. And you, even this far away now, you can hear like the gurgled, pained screams. They are rapidly consuming him at this point.
Well, that answers that.
Convenience. I start walking away.
Hannah follows.
I'm gonna have the owl watch them until he's almost out of time, or he gets bored, quote unquote. Have him come back and find me because we're going over here and tell me what he sees.
Okay.
The doctor looks at Professor November.
What?
Are we walking away from this?
I think there's plenty more.
Okay.
That was 2. That's already 200% more than we previously were privy to.
Your math doesn't lie.
Math never lies. Math is the truth. Let us go.
Yeah, then he'll follow the professor.
Bup, 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 bup. November, give me a D100. This isn't encounter. Don't worry.
87. We have 87 bats.
All right. Right before you guys get to the or I guess Darren would be the only one to be able to like point it out. But right before you get to the block that you want to be on for the true safe house, the owl returns. One moment. Minerva, you get the feelings of like a tall spire and a low building, church, and large group, bad, same thing. Well, let's find out how many owls are smart. They can count. Seven more.
Damn. Could he, like, would I be able to figure out where that place is so we can visit it in the morning?
Gives you distance, like a feeling. Oh, if you were moving the same speed you are right now, about 20 minutes further than where you left me.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time and your service.
Adorable. Give me a history check, Minerva. This will be an advantage since this is your home area.
Yeah, so I can figure out where that might be.
Mm-hmm. 11.
Like, I might know the area, like what type of stuff it might have had.
Yep. So there's a couple of churches, but since this is like a more kind of residential area, it's kind of hard to pinpoint. But that general direction was like a little Koreatown on Madison Street before you get over to New York Police Plaza.
Okay.
So there's there's a church in Koreatown. There's, all kinds of stuff. But that matches up right about correctly, plus or minus a block in either direction.
I mean, that's probably not a place I went to very often, so I wouldn't know more information than that anyway.
Bam, there you go. All right, so
I'll
you guys
pass
turn
that information along. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's my fault. The party gets to the area that Darian recognizes as the safe house area. The corner of, we said Madison and Clinton. Safe house is on the second floor of one of these low-lying buildings. Like I said, one of the little clinics actually was a dentist's office at one point. So you know where you're headed. You guys just going in and going upstairs?
Do we not have to check in or anything?
Oh, not on the ground floor. It's the office itself is what is fortified and sealed up. The building itself is very unassuming from the outside. Like when Darian kind of points in that direction, you think maybe he's kind of off his rocker because it looks like all the other, blown out, looted buildings.
Darian, you lead this? You know them, right?
Well, as much as I know people that sometimes sleep here, but yeah, we just gotta go on up and just everybody be real calm. Remember, they're doing us a favor.
Right, be cool.
Yeah, be cool, Professor.
All right. So the party heads up. They head into this building. The ground floor, again, kind of completely emptied out. It's not burned or anything, but there's nothing, barely even any trash. So nobody would root around down here or anything. You'd have to know what was here before you got here. You do see right on the inside of the door, the main door panel to get into this building, on the door frame. Sorry, I said panel. Main door frame. There is a small symbol carved. It is it's a G with a circle around it, and then just like an arrow pointed. I'm ridiculous. I forget that we're not completely theater of the mind. So that is
Well, Darren
safe area, arrow, and then 2 is for second floor.
Darian would start heading up the stairs, just kind of checking to make sure everything is copacetic.
Perception. Looks great. Very copacetic.
Everything's all good. This is going to be great, guys. We'll get a nice, good night's sleep start in the morning.
Great, beautiful.
Says that over the shoulder as y'all are going up. Get to the top of the stairs. There's another G with just an arrow pointing down a hall. Follow the hallway down, and then to your right there is this heavy steel door with one of those like sliding eye slots in it, and it's got a black like placard with a G on it. Darren, you're very familiar. This is the door to the safe house, quite heavily armored and reinforced.
I will knock loudly, but not slamming on the door.
Almost immediately after you knock, the eye slide opens up. To kind of step out of the way because there is the barrel of a gun pointed through the eye slot. Not like sticking out, but if you kept your eyes on it, you'd be staring down the barrel of the gun.
As wonderful as a greeting as always. We got about 6 here looking for a place to stay tonight if you got room.
Yo, any of you fucks got a garden pass something? I don't know who you are. I don't know where you been.
I got my S1 license right here, fella. Don't worry about it.
So the barrel of the gun comes backwards just a little, and like 2 fingers stick out through the eye slot to put the license in.
Yep. I just hand it over.
And grabs it and pulls through, and the eye hole, the eye shutter closes. This is all standard fare. Nothing seems out of the ordinary yet from the times you've been here before. Or any safe houses, I guess. It opens back up, and it comes out and clinks across the floor. Yo, you said 6?
Yeah, 6.
Bro, it's been a busy night, yo. I got like 4 open beds right now. Not a lot of food. You can come in, obviously. Safe. We got any problems, we'll deal with it, but there ain't enough room to sleep, homie.
So we're kind of hoping to get a good night's rest. Is like maybe some sitting room, or maybe if I were able to help keep watch for the night, you might be a little more open to the idea of us staying here for the evening.
Hannah and I could share a bed. If anyone else is willing to share, we should be fine.
Don't dawdle. I'm just looking for a yes or no. You want me to open this fucking door or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
The eye hole, the eye slide slams shut. You hear like multiple locks and a heavy bar come off of the door, and it swings outward towards you all. And following it is a heavy shotgun sawed-off, and like your standard. I mean, not standard. That's stereotyping. It's a little guy, heavy body armor, like plate carrier, shotgun held out. He's got a knife underneath it that he's bracing the front of the gun on, and he looks over you, kind of looks past down you, keeping the gun trained on Darian, and he lowers it. Get your asses in here. This ain't a fucking drive-through, man.
I heard.
So,
Yep.
Make sure everybody gets in, and I go in last.
All right, so you guys get in. He closes the door immediately. The main, what would be the waiting area for the dentist's office that you're in, is it's cleared out. There are like sandbags that are positioned looking at the door. There's a guy sitting down behind that, just kind of flipping through a magazine. He's also got a shotgun trained on the door. He looks up, pulls a like a dum-dum out of his mouth and just raises it. And your welcomer we'll say, turns to you all, and he's re-slinging the sawed-off shotgun on his back, putting the knife back in his in the scabbard on his side. So, pretty easy shit. There's one room open, 4 beds. These 2 rooms over here, no dice. And he points to 2 rooms that are closed up. They paid extra. Well, paid's a weird word. You know what I mean. They've given a little extra, requested their privacy. They don't want to deal with any shit from anybody. They're good people, but we're going to honor what they've done. Let's talk business. I'm not going to kick you out, but I'd like to know what you brought to keep this place afloat. You feel me?
Well, I understand the drill, and I would also kind of like some privacy if we could. I got a spoon here from one of my mess kits and about 3 torches that I think could help keep this place a little lit up.
Yo, that's sweet. Anything else? He kind of looks at the rest of you.
I have 5 cigarettes.
All right, fucking grandma, sold. I don't need to hear anything else. And he holds out a hand.
I take 5 cigarettes out, and I do not show him the other 8.
Solid play. And will we be needing any provisions, restocking? Do you need food? You guys and gals, sorry, you're looking pretty good. But we've got some stores left over. We can spare some things. You just let me know what you need. I'm Eddie, by the way. That over there, that's Rodrigo. He don't talk too much. I just stay out of him. Itchy trigger finger. You know how they are out here, man.
Clearly understandable.
Eddie, do you sell information about current events around here?
He looks Hannah up and down. Mommy, sell you anything you need. Everything's got a price. You just tell me what you're willing to pay and what you're looking for. I'll tell you how much I got.
We're looking for 2 runaways out of the garden. They should have been carrying a man with them that was a bit crazy in the head. You heard or seen anyone like that?
And how are we paying for this information before I let my loose lips possibly sink ships?
She smiles at him. Would you rather bad tasting food, or would you rather a little bit of salt to make your shit tasting foods taste a little better?
He looks down at Rodrigo, and it gets a nod back pretty quickly. Yeah, we got plenty of food. It comes in here pretty quick. But you're right, it does taste like shit all the time. Salt would be kick-ass, baby.
I like
I'll give him the equivalent of 0.2 pounds of salt. I don't know what that is in like grams or.
Sure, that's like a dice bag full of salt. That's not a big deal at all. Oh, you said 2 grams or 0.2 pounds?
0.2 pounds.
Yeah, close to a quarter pound, so like a dice bag worth of salt. Oh, he opens it up, and like it was cocaine almost. The salt is relatively rare. He sticks like a finger in and licks it. Oh, man. You wouldn't have no tequila like limes or something, would you?
I wish. I miss that quite a bit myself.
He chucks the bag toward Rodrigo, who does the same thing. And you see him like this look of partial ecstasy go over his face. It's obviously been a while since they've tasted any spice, let alone salt. All right. So, a couple of, you said, guys with a crazy person looking to see if they maybe came through. Get all that correctly?
If you heard anyone talking about them, yes.
So, and he kind of leans in close. Between you and me, sweet cheeks, they not here, but one of our forward scouts, before they left for the night, said that there was a couple of jabronis dragging some dude just kicking and screaming down the street. 6, 7 blocks that way. And he points west of where you guys are standing, essentially, just into nowhere. 6, 7 blocks that way. And they disappeared into some, one of those little townhouse things. I don't even fucking know. This is way outside my purview before all this shit went down, but dragging him down the street, just kicking and screaming up a storm. They were trying to keep him quiet, but also asking him all these fucking questions. I don't even get the whole story. Damnedest thing I ever heard. People on people like that, not Ashers. And they did say something about like body armor or something, man. So, like gods, who knows?
Fucking weird people out here. How long ago was that?
30 minutes before you came through is when I got the report, so hour ago tops.
Good to know. Thank you, Eddie. And enjoy that salt.
I
Hey,
will.
If I were able to show you a map, do you think your scout might be able to point out that building?
Shit, man. He left, booking it back. He always travels at night. He feels safer that way, but he gave me a general idea I could.
You've been mighty kind of very helpful. Thank you. And I will. No. If he's willing to help, I'll just take it.
Sure. So you open up a map, and he pulls out just a Sharpie, like a red Sharpie, and he just puts like 2 dots on a street like 6 blocks away, so you have exact location of the building that they entered.
Hey, is it that Sharpie for trade?
Homie, like I told the pretty lady, everything's for trade. You just got to have a good offer.
How about 15 feet of rope?
He looks down at Rodrigo, who holds up another Sharpie. Deal, homie.
I'll cut off a piece of my rope with my dagger and just give him 15 feet of my rope.
All right, you have yourself a red Sharpie. I'll keep track of how much you use it and tell you when it's getting low. But
Yep.
you know how long those things last. You're good for a while unless you drop it somewhere. All right. Anything else I can do for all you fine people? We have to go into lockdown. Sun's going to be setting in just a couple minutes, so I got a couple things to do. You, and he points to Hannah, you're more than welcome to hang around. Maybe help out a little bit, you know what I mean?
Don't push too hard, Eddie. I appreciate a good flirt, but you're going a little too far on that one.
He holds up his hands. Hey, no harm in trying, right? I get it. Your room's right there. We'll keep the door closed for you. And just give us a heads up, couple of knocks for you. Come barreling out any time before the sun rises. Feel me?
She nods at him. Then she goes into the room.
I think we follow.
All right, so everybody gets in there. It is 2 dentist office where the wall has been like 2 of the little like cleaning offices where the wall has been taken out and the other door for the other what would have been the other office has been like bricked up with mortar and like ramshackle bricks that have been obviously pulled from other buildings. So it's a very secure room. No windows because you're on an internal office section of this building. Very secure. And there is like a couple of the 5-gallon like water cooler jugs full of kind of dusty, gross water, but it is water. And there's like packs of crackers and like dried beans, things like that, like cooked and then re-dried beans and things. There's even a small bowl, like a child's cereal bowl with like trail mix in it, nuts and pretzels, things like that. And we're actually going to go ahead and pull here. This is a great place to stop. Solid for during the week RP. We can do experience unless you guys have any questions about what else is in this room. There's just 4 beds, like a long table, and some very thin, like twill blankets. One larger, like knitted comforter.
No, that seems reasonable.
Very important question. After Alex sees the snacks, are there any snacks left?
He dives for them, the trail mix immediately, talking about the pretzels, and then complains that they're very stale. I mean, not complaining too much, obviously. It's Alex, after all. All right. Let's get some experience here.
Sounds good.
I want to make sure that this is all done before I delete my formulas. All right. Everybody did great across the board today. So everybody except for Alex will be getting the same experience. It's 165 combat experience and 65 roleplay experience. So I'll give you a couple seconds to do that, and then I'll go through totals with everybody. Oh, actually, while y'all are putting that in and making sure stuff's updated, I'll do the stingers really quick. So if you've enjoyed the show, whether it's live on Twitch tonight with us or on the recording on YouTube down the road, come on, hang out in our Discord. If you're on Twitch right now, it is !D&D to get that Discord information. If you're on the YouTube, it's down in the description below. Game was Rhapsody, the 8th session, Rising Tides Part 3, brought to you in part by Inked Gaming and TeamRankstar.com. Head on over to inkedgaming.com, get 12% off your final purchase with code TRS12, thanks to Team Rankstar. You can get everything from Dungeons & Dragons battle maps, gaming mats, mouse pads, Magic the Gathering playmats, anything your heart desires, customized how you see fit at inkedgaming.com. Play your games with your style. We had our break a little while ago. We're about to cut out of the game. There's going to be some music that you hear. That is thanks to Max Tunes at taketones.com. You can get your free music there to use in your YouTube videos, on your streams, or anywhere your heart desires. All you have to do is a little shout out like I'm doing right now, and it is yours to go. Final thank you, of course, to Wizards of the Coast for making such a great game. So good. Dungeons & Dragons, been around for longer than most people who are probably paying attention have been alive. Check them out at watsy.com. Follow them on Twitter, all that good stuff. And the last thank you, as we've done all night, roll20.net. We are all from all over the North American continent. We're able to join together because of the free service at roll20.net. We can spool up and play. You can start today. Go on over to roll20, that's roll20.net. Sign up for your free account and start playing Dungeons & Dragons or any of more than 100 other games tonight with your friends. Blah, blah, blah. Follow me on Twitter at MantedMan. If any of these people want to give you their Twitter handles or any other social media, you can find that. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Let's do the experience totals. Dylan, I have you at 2093.
Yep.
Graham, I have you at 2113.
That's exactly what I have, thanks to the wonders of my calculator.
That's right. Emily, 2059.
That's exactly what I have due to the wonders of my brain, which does math.
Oh, get served. Dr. Jeff, I have you at 2031.
That's exactly what I have because I don't do the math and wait for you to just tell me.
My man. And Tim, I have you at 1936.
Indeed.
Yep. A little short because of last week. Not a big deal. You see you're not too far behind. And then I have Allie at 1945. I'll make sure her sheet is up to date. Yeah. So the party has been locked up securely in this nice safe area with Eddie and Rodrigo. Heavily armed and armored. Pretty safe, decent guys, all that good stuff. We're going to have RP during the week. I'll make sure to get the notifier up that denotes the end of this session so that RP does not get muddy. And unless I am going to get blindsided here in a second, I think we should all be around for next week's session. Correct me now if I'm wrong.
I'll be there.
Rock and roll. So pending any personal or otherwise emergencies, it sounds like we will all be here. I'll double check with Ali as well. That will be May 3rd, beginning of a new month. So May 3rd at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern will be Rhapsody Session 9, Rising Tides Part 4. come on over to twitch.tv/miss_jinx. Check us out live or look for the YouTube video. I will make sure the other one is up and this one are up as quick as I can. You all have been fantastic watching, paying attention, all that good stuff. Players, fantastic job. Great progress, and I'm so happy to have you all around. If there is anything else, hang around afterwards and we'll talk. Since production is here, it's going to be a lot smoother, but I'm going to ask for her to send us out. Everybody say bye-bye as she closes the stream. Bye.
Bye.
Arrivederci.